Have you ever woken up from a really vivid dream and thought, man, that could be a movie? Well, today we're going to take a look at how YouTuber Nicholas Alexander Benson does exactly that. We're diving into a day where he takes one single dream and just explodes it into comics, animation, and even music. It's pretty wild. Let's get into it.
And you can really feel that passion, right? It's the engine for pretty much everything we're about to see. For Nicholas, dreams aren't just some random thing that happens at night. Nope. They are the actual raw material for his art. It all kicks off in the world of sleep. And believe me, by the end of the day, it's a whole new collection of creations.
So where did this all start? It began with a lucid dream about a character he calls Skelebot. And this wasn't just any old dream. This was a huge moment in an ongoing story, one that he'd end up spending the entire day bringing to life. Okay, so to really get the dream, you first need to understand the setting. He calls it the storyverse. Just imagine this giant multiverse where every single story idea you could ever have exists in its own little cosmic bubble. This is the playground for his lucid dreams, where he explores with his team, and his team is awesome, by the way. You've got Leon, who's a ghostly UFO, Johnson, a humanoid goldfish in a spacesuit, and Second Brain, which is this floating consciousness. So here's what went down in the dream. The character Skelebot had just recently gone rogue. It got hacked by an enemy. But in this lucid dream, Nicholas gets to watch his teammate Leon manage to repair the robot and patch the exact vulnerability that caused all the problems in the first place. But this wasn't just about fixing a bug. No, it was way bigger than that. This was a full-on transformation. The dream showed him that the repair didn't just put Skelebot back to normal, it actually unlocked something new. Something really powerful that was, hidden inside all along. And bam, that's the big reveal. Skelebot's real purpose is finally out in the open. Turns out, Johnson built it to be the team's humanoid speedster, somebody fast enough to literally race across all those cosmic bubbles in the storyverse. The character that was a huge problem just became one of the team's most powerful assets. So you wake up from a dream like that. What do you even do next? Well, for Nicholas, the answer is simple. You get to work immediately. That one dream was about to become the spark for a huge flurry of creative projects. I mean, just look at these timestamps. It's kind of insane. He wakes up, and the process is almost instant. He's got reference art done by 6:13 a.m. Just 9 minutes later, he's already made a comic. Before 7 in the morning, he's created an anime and recorded his podcast, The Dreamcast, to analyze the whole thing. And then, just to top it all off, he wrote a song about it that evening. That is pure, unfiltered creative flow. And you can see that process right here. On the left, you've got the initial reference art, which basically nails down the look for Skelebot and its world. And then on the right, you see how he almost instantly translated that art into a dynamic comic, telling the whole story of the dream panel by panel. So what's the deeper meaning behind all this? For that, we can just turn to his Dreamcast. His AI co-host put it perfectly, explaining that this wasn't just some random event. It was actually the conclusion to a whole 3-part saga. The dream literally transformed a story about failure into this really powerful story of redemption. And the creativity didn't stop with visuals and stories. He even turned it into music. The themes of speed and redemption from the dream got their own track. Here's the hook from the dream tune he made. It's super catchy and just perfectly captures the new heroic vibe of Skelebot. But, this Skelebot saga wasn't the only thing on his mind. That main dream was definitely the star of the show, but his day was also packed with a bunch of other interesting projects that really show you just how wide-ranging his curiosity is. In fact, get this, on the very same day, he also created and published a completely new comic called Small Rulers. This project shows a totally different side of his creative brain, shifting gears from this big, cosmic sci-fi story to a tiny drama happening right under our feet. The comic is all about a hidden world. It's got a tyrannical spider king, a noble queen bee, and this whole war for territory that gets way more complicated because of some forgotten human poison. It just goes to show you he can build these fascinating worlds no matter the scale. And outside of his own stuff, his logs give us a little peek into what else was on his mind. He was psyched for a new role-playing game, he was reading about these mysterious dark beads in Saturn's atmosphere, checking out new tech, and connecting with other creators online. It's like his brain is just constantly absorbing new ideas from everywhere. So after a day that was just jam-packed with all this activity, what really stood out to him?
Well, his own summary tells us what he thought the day's biggest wins were.
So when he looked back on the day, his top moments came down to three things. First, that lucid dream that kicked everything off, the repair of Skelebot. Second, getting his brand new comic, Small Rulers, published. And third, walking charity miles for Feeding America. It's a mix that just perfectly captures a day driven by creativity, productivity, and his own personal values.
It's honestly so cool to see how Nicholas channels his dreams so directly into art. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? It leaves us with one last question for you. If you could take one of your own dreams and turn it into a story, a piece of art, or a song, what would you create?